Hello YouTube, this is Retro Gaming PC Gaming channel here, and today I'm going to bring you a tutorial on how you could set up and install Windows 95 on 86 box. To install Windows 95 on 86 things, we need a couple of resources things. First of all, you need the 3DFX Voodoo 3 driver disk for the 3DFX Voodoo 3 2000, and you would need the Windows 95 ISO, which is Windows 95C. And you need a Windows 95B floppy disk drive, and then you need DirectX 8, and you will need the Intel chipsets for after you installed. And after that, you would want to download 86 box from the website, and you want 86 4.2.1, which is to copy all of this. And after that, you want to copy all of it. You want to first of all copy it. And then you want to go to Windows 95 setup, go to Windows 86 box, and then you want to paste it. And then you copy all the files. And after that, you want to go to the ROMs master, and you want to rename this to ROMs from ROMs master. So that way it would recognize Windows 95, all the ROMs folder. And after that, you want to go 86 box and paste the ROMs file onto 86 box in Windows 64, because I now know Windows 10 support is coming to an end soon, and it's the last OS that can ever support Windows 95 32-bit Windows for Windows 9, as Windows 11 only uses 64-bit. But of course, Windows 95 will celebrate its 30th anniversary in August 2025, and Windows 10's 10th anniversary is in July. And I also announced that in October 2025, support for Windows 95 will come to an end, as more users would want to upgrade to Windows 11, or if they don't have laptops that don't have support Windows 11, then you should buy new laptops. And after you've downloaded 86 box, and after you've copied and pasted the ROMs file, open up 86 box. And then you want to go to Tools, and then you want to go Settings, and then you want to change the machine type to, what I'm going to say is, I'm going to go slot 1, and I'm going to go to i440 gigabytes, which I'm not going to choose, so I'm going to choose 1997 slot 1, and I'm going to set this to gigabyte GA686BX, and then I want to send it to Intel Pentium II date choice, and I'm going to go for Intel Pentium 200, and I'm going to select two memories to and I'm going to go for 256 megabytes, because this should be the right meg MB for Windows 95. And after that, you want to go to display and go to video. And then you want to look for 3DFX, which is the PCI Voodoo 3 2000. I'm going to go configure, and I'm going to leave it as it is. I don't need a second video driver. And then I'm going to go to mouse, and I want to select the mouse, which is the standard PS/2 mouse. And then go to configure. I'm going to go to say 2 for this, and then I'm going to go to sound, and then I'm going to go to Sound Blaster AWE32. I'm going to go Sound Blaster 16 for this one, because I think that'll be the best video card for Windows 95. And after that, I don't need the ports, and I'm going to check out the storage hard disk, and I'm going to go internal controller, and I don't need the floppy drive. And then after that, we're going to go to hard disks, and I'm going to select the file name. I'm going to go specify Win95, and I'm going to go 10 gigabytes for this one. So then I'm going to set the size MB to 10,000, and I'm going to customize it to large. So click OK, then click OK. And after that, I'm going to set the floppy drive to 3.5 1.44 meters. And I'm gonna set the second one to none because I don't really need the second floppy drive. And then I'm gonna go to CD-ROM drives and I'm going to select ATAPI and I'm gonna go 86 box and I'm gonna select the channel to 10 and I'm going to go for the Toshiba 86 box CD-ROM for this one. And I'm going to check the other removable devices. Do I need this? So no, I'm going to leave this to disabled and I'm going to check the other peripherals I don't need. So I don't really need this one. So after that, click OK. Don't show this message again, and then you want to say save settings. So yes, you want to click save. And after that, we're now starting to install Windows 95 on 86 box. So again, I'm going to go to view and I'm going to set the full screen stretch mode to full screen stretch. And it says disk boot failure. Insert system disk and press OK. So you want to go to CD-ROM, go to image. And then you want to go to Windows 95 C and go Windows 95 OSR25. And after that, I'm going to go floppy and I'm going to go to existing image. And again, I'm going to go Windows 95B, which is the floppy drive. And then hit hard reset. Don't show this message again. And then I'm going to go press del to enter setup. And I'm going to go Control Alt page up. Don't show this message again. And I'm going to go to anyways, I do need to set up the keyboard before I reset the system. Okay, so I enabled the keyboard capture as required. So I'm going to check on standard and everything's okay. And then I'm going to go to the BIOS setup feature setup. And I'm going to set the boot sequence to A. And then going to CD-ROM. And after that, press escape. Nothing I need to change on the chipset features. And then go to power management. Nothing needed change. And I'm going to enable plug and play OS. So we're going to take yes. And then I'm going to go to integrated peripherals. Anyways, do we need the onboard? Yep. The on-floor floppy disk drive controllers. I'm going to leave this to enabled. And after that, we're going to go to save and exit setup. Press yes. And then it's just rebooting the computer. Verifying DMI pool data. And it's starting Windows 95. And then after that, we're going to type in fdisk. And then you want to press enter. And then it says, do you wish to enable large disk support? We're going to say yes. And I'm going to create DOS partition or logical DOS device. Press 1 and create primary DOS partition. And after that, we're going to say yes for it. And then you have to restart your system for your changes to take effect. So press escape to exit fdisk. And then you want to do a hard reset. Again. And again, after the computer reboots, you want to type in on disk drive A to say format C. All data will be lost, so we're going to put SRI, and then it's formatting 10 gigabytes of Windows for storage for your Windows 95 emulator. and then it's writing out, and then it's checking calculating free space, and I'm going to volume enable. I'm going to type in Windows 95, press enter. After that, you want to go to C, and then you want to type MD Win 95, copy R Win 95 to C Win 95, and then it will copy everything before it starts to set up. Okay, after it's copied, type CD Win 95, and then you want to go to type setup, enter, continue, we'll press enter, and then it's just now scanning the following areas of drive C and checking free space. And now we're on the Windows 95 setup. Congratulations on your choice of Windows 95. So click on continue. And then you want to read your software license agreement. Press yes. Click next. Click next. And then it's checking for installed components and checking for available space sticks. And then we're going to go custom. And after that, we're going to click next. And then I'm going to have to put in the product key. Okay, now I have entered in the username, product key, and I got the name created. So, and you're analyzing your computer. So setup will detect hardware devices on your computer. So we're going to say yes, because I would recommend for the setup to look for all the hard drive. Then we're going to tick signed, and then we're going to go next. And then it's progressing. Then it's checking to see what kind of hardware is in your computer. And now we're done the progress, so we're going to untick accessories and retick accessories. And then we're going to go to multimedia, and I'm going to go to details, and I'm going to tick sound samples, and then we're going to click OK. And that's everything we need, so we don't need anything. And then we're going to check the disk tools if I need a backup. So I'll need backup to save data and files. And that supports backup to floppy and tape drives. So then after that, we're going to click next, next. And then we're going to set the keyboard layout to UK, which is British. And then after that, we're going to go unknown monitor, and then we're going to tick plug and play. And then after that, we're going to go to regional settings. I'm going to make it UK. Click OK, and then we're going to click next. Do I need a startup disk? Yes. It is recommended that you do get the startup disk for it. And then we're going to click OK, because we do have a startup disk inserted already. And it's copying all the files for startup disk. In the event of any breakdowns of Windows 95 emulator, then you have a startup disk to boot up Windows 95 properly. As what I've said. But startup files disk is usually for if the computer was to stop working. For example, when you have Windows 95 installed on your PC emulator. So the setup has almost finished copying files for startup disk. And then hopefully after it's copied files for startup disk, then Windows 95 should boot properly on your emulator. Now setup has finished creating your startup. Okay, so now we're just doing a Windows 95 setup, and we're continuing on. And we're now copying files. So I tried to reset the entire installation again. I've done the setup for Windows 95. I've created a startup disk, but this time I'm not going to decide it. I'm not going to create a startup disk. I tried to reset the entire installation, and once I accidentally ejected the floppy drive and then the installation stopped working. I tried resetting it again and it didn't, so I had to stop the computer and restart the computer and delete the entire 86 box, and then I had to start the entire setup again because I couldn't get the setup to work at that time before I restarted. But then I got it to work again, which is good news. And now what I'm trying to do is we're trying to get the setup done, and we're still copying files. And once the copying of the files has reached 100%, we will begin their next stage, the final part of the installation. After I've done this setup, we're going to go to the Windows 95 setup, and we're going to go to the BIOS setup menu. And after we've been to the setup BIOS menu, all we're going to have to do is try and get the install working properly. So I'm waiting for the setup to finish copying files. Okay. So now it's about to get to 100%, which it is. So we're going to click on finish. And now we have to, it's detected the floppy drive, so I need to remove the disk from the floppy drive and then click OK to restart the computer. And after I eject, what I'm now going to do is press Del to enter setup, and we're going to go to the BIOS setup and set the boot sequence to C only, and then hopefully it should install Windows 95 as normal without needing to use the disk or the floppy drive mounted on the emulator. And now it's just starting Windows 95 for the first time, which is good news. And setup is now detecting Windows 95 is now setting up the hardware and any plug and play devices that I may have. And it's updating shortcuts. And then it's going to the Windows help. And then I'm going to go to time zone. And then I'm going to scroll down and go to Greenwich Mean Time. Click apply. Click OK. And then we're going to go for the installer printer. Yep, recommended that we do. And now it's copying every files. And it's setting up printer. Yes. And setup has finished configuring the system. So I have to restart the computer now before we do the final parts of the setup, where I have to install the Intel chipsets and install the 3DFX Voodoo 3 3000 graphics card, and then install DirectX 8, and then hopefully we should get the old games running properly on Windows 95. And now new hardware found, and it's detecting plug and play, and it's installing the software for the new hardware. And then we're going to click next. And then we're going to go next. I'm going to go to the UK. And the setup is preparing. And now the following items are being installed on the computer, which is Internet Explorer 4.0, web browser, communication components, multimedia components, web authoring components, additional ActiveX controls, which is the next step on the setup. Okay, now, so after we've got Windows 95 installed, the next step we're going to do is to go to my computer, and I've put the Windows 95 setup files from that I've copied into the hard drive when I mounted the Windows 95 hard drive on the actual PC, and I copied the full setup files and pasted there. So now I've done that, and I've done the housekeeping, so we're going to install the chipsets now, Intel chipsets now. Gonna go next. Yes. And then we're gonna go next. And then after that, you want to click on yes to restart the computer. And now Windows is building a driver information database. And then it's finding new hardware and it's locating software for it. And it's installing the Intel chipsets now to the Windows 95 PCM, which is good news. And Windows has found a new hardware. And now we're going to finishing. Now it's installing the Busmaster IDE controller. So we're going to click next. And then it's detecting the floppy drive. And after that we click finish. And it's detected an unknown device. Primary IDE controller. Dual FIFO. And now we're going to restart the computer. Now after that we're going to go Windows 95 setup, and now we're going to install DirectX 8 on your computer. We're going to go to the DX setup, click install, and now we're installing DirectX 8 on your Windows 95 PC that I'm using for the emulator, and it's searching for updated DirectX runtime components, and updating is necessary. So this may take a few minutes before it works. And after that, we're going to insert the ISO, mount the ISO off the Voodoo 3 driver disk. And then hopefully we should be able to get the setup done for Windows 95. And now DirectX setup needs to restart your machine, so which we're going to do now. And now it's installing the secondary IDE controller, Dual FIFO. So now we're going to right click on my computer and go to properties, and then we're going to go to, and I'm not going to bother changing this. We're going to go to generic IE disk type, go to settings and tick DMA, click OK, and then restart the computer. And now we're going to install the 3DFX Voodoo 3. Gonna have to start again because it quits off. Sometimes this thing quits off, so we're going to click on yes, yes. And now it's copying files. Sourcing from drive D to drive C. And it's just doing DirectX setup. It's already detected a new version, so no installation is necessary. And now we're going to test out one of the PC games that I hope would work on Windows 95. And now we're testing out one of the Disney games, 3D games, that is working properly on Windows 95 with the 3DFX Voodoo 3 2000. Some of the games may not work properly on Windows 95, but it is a good try. Okay, now, so I couldn't skip the cutscene for this point. Now we're going to test out the game now. I'm just testing out Disney's Tigger's Honey Hunt for the PC, which came out in 2000 by Disney Interactive. And it's perfectly working good, which is good news. And I'm really glad you've enjoyed this walkthrough. So now we're going to exit the game, and now we're going to go back to the main menu, and then we'll quit the game and we'll finish the video tutorial on Windows 95 86 box setup. Now we're going to go back to main menu and we'll exit the game. So we're going to go down to press escape to exit. Yes. So I hope and I'm going to go to right click on the mouse button and go properties, and I'm going to change this to clouds, and I'm going to click apply. And now you got the Windows 95 cloud background. Well, that's the end of the Windows 95 tutorials. If you have any questions or answers, please leave your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and remember to hit the notification bell. And I hope this video setup tutorial video helps. And for the next PCM or 86 box setup, I'm going to show you how you can install Windows 98. So see you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.